Oh, that was quick. We are now live. How does it get any better than that? That was just like, boom. It's a quick day today. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me here. And I also just want to put a big shout out to the translators. Thank you. I know they all like find their way at the beginning of this line, the live, and they are friggin' amazing. Just absolutely amazing. So today we're talking about a topic that pretty much nobody wants to talk about. Yeah, guess what that is? Money. Oh my goodness. It's like, what's your point of view about money? So, what is your point of view about money? So, as I ask you these questions, I want you just to sit with the energy of it. Because, one of the reasons why I'm doing this class is I wrote a book called Getting Out of Debt Joyfully because I created myself to be an absolute financial mess. I would avoid money. I would literally refuse it when it was offered to me in various ways, whether it was through my father or through a gift or through someone paying for something. Like, how often do you say no when someone offers you something? If anything, I disdained it. I just sort of had it at arm's length, pushed it away all the time. I had a point of view that I could create with no money, and I did everything I could to prove that I could create with no money. Sometimes I was living on people's couches. I was, walking past a restaurant and thinking, God, I'd love to eat there, but I could never eat there. I couldn't afford it, like all these things. I couldn't afford a lot of things, but I was trying to prove that I was happy, and I was trying to prove that I didn't need money. How many of you are trying to prove you don't need money? Now, there's a truth with a lie attached there, because money is a choice. You have to get that, okay? Money is a choice. My question is, are you choosing it? Or are you doing what I used to do, because it is a doing, and refusing it? Like, what is your current relationship with money? So right now, today, as you're listening to this, whether it's live or it's later, just take a moment, take a big breath, right? Be present. I want you to be present with this. And I want you to ask yourself the question, what is your current relationship with money? And what comes up for you? It could be many different things. It could be that you enjoy it, you have the sense that there's none available, or there's lots available, or you are not allowed to have it, or there could be many, many different things, right? But here's the thing, and this is the number one tool for changing anything to do with money. You need to change your point of view. It's so simple. You need to change your point of view. How many of you have a point of view that you can't have money? You're not allowed to have money. It's too hard to have money, like all these different things. Now, these are like statements from poverty. And I'll give you an example. The other day, I'm here at El Hogar in Costa Rica, which is absolutely stunning. For starters, many, many, many years ago, I had the point of view I could never afford to fly to Costa Rica from Australia. I mean, it's like, it took me 30 hours to get here the other day. I'm like, it's a long way. And my point of view, I hope you're hearing me here, my point of view was I cannot afford to fly to Costa Rica. I could never afford that. That is so far away. Like, how many of you have a point of view that's really similar? Now I'm here at El Hogar. I have a horse here who's pregnant, so I'm going to have 2 horses here soon. And I might even have another one. I might buy another horse. I also have investments here. I have investments in casitas here. I've invested a lot of money here because I so believe in this place. It is so incredible. I'm here for Christmas with a whole bunch of people. You can still jump on a plane and come. And the other day, I was talking to Gary Douglas, who's the founder of Access Consciousness. And there's a lot of stuff that we want to create here, right? We're still building the main restaurant and the main venue, and that venue is going to be ginormous. Definitely, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the biggest one in Costa Rica, if not a lot of places in South America. I think we have like 17 or 20 built-in translation booths. And the structure is there, like the platform of it, but we need more money to continue building, right? So I'm having this conversation with Gary Douglas. See, I'm old school. You can tell how old I am because I still do this when I pretend I'm on the phone. I mean, I'm wondering, like, do the younger people actually do this and pretend that they're just speaking into a speaker? That's my question for you today. So anyway, I'm talking to Gary Douglas and I said, God, I wish I had more money. I wish I had more money that I could put so much into here, like millions, right? And he said, so what is that? And I said, what do you mean? And he said, is that a question? I was like, no, it's not a question. And I said, oh, for me, it's like this demand, an energy of demand. And he said, no, it's a statement from poverty. And I was like, oh, a statement from poverty, instead of asking, what choice do I have that could change this? So even that, it's like, that's changing your point of view. Because if there's any area of your life, like for me, it's like, I mean, I have investments, I have different things going on. And I'm like, I'd like more money for this. I'd like this. I'd like this, right? Or if you have a business and you're like, I'd like more clients. I never get enough of this, or whatever that is. I just realized I put my mic down there. So hopefully it's been okay. Anyway, so as I think I'm having this demand in my world, but he said, no, you're having a statement from poverty, instead of asking the question, what choice do I have that can change this? Right. And as soon as I asked that, it was like all these doors started opening. I get the universe is so desirous to contribute to us. So in that moment, it's changing my point of view. So the number one tool that I'm giving you today is change your point of view. How many of you are functioning from a statement from poverty rather than a question from possibilities? And how many of you are not willing to actually have a look at money? Like I said before, it's like, what's your current relationship with money? You know, I facilitate a lot of access consciousness classes, and a lot of the classes, every class has this heartbeat and an energy that you can perceive it, right? And every time I facilitate a Getting Out of Debt Joyfully class, it's like it's hidden. I'm like, yeah, people don't want to talk about money. They'd like to have money, but they don't want to talk about it. What if a new point of view you had was, I'm willing to talk about money. I'm willing to talk about the money I have, the money I don't have, the money I'm asking for to show up. Like, I'm willing to have so much money and be so rich that perhaps everyone around me judges me for it. Are you willing to have so much money that people judge you for it? Notice how there's an energy of maybe not. What if your point of view was that, yeah, I'm willing to have that much money that people judge me for it? Because you know what? If you're willing to receive that energy, then more can show up. Now, that's the second point of view that I want to talk about, is receiving. It's like, are you actually willing to receive? It's like, or do you fight receiving? You know, before I was just mentioning about how often has somebody, offered to buy you a meal or a drink or a cup of coffee or anything like that. Do you actually receive it, or do you refuse it? You go, no, I'll get this. Or no, I'm fine. I can do this. And you have an excuse and a reason, justification to not receive. What I want you to do is practice receiving. The next time somebody offers you anything, it could be like opening a door, right, for you. It could be helping you with a suitcase. It could be, I don't know, a Christmas dinner. It's like, hey, can I help you, with the potato salad, and giving it. And you go, no, it's fine. Go, yeah, thank you so much. I'd love that. And receive, because as you receive anything, like I said, whether it's a cup of coffee, someone opening a door, or someone giving you $20 for something, whatever, as you receive, you start to open up these doors to the entirety of the universe. The entirety of the universe. So it might just be a cup of coffee, but what that can turn into and what that can show up as is something so much greater. So where have you been refusing to receive, that if you changed your point of view, like just pushed all of those walls and barriers down, so you no longer had the limitation of receiving, what else could show up? What could show up that would be so unlimited? Because money's money, right? And it's like, but are you willing to receive like applause, gratitude. There was an interview I saw the other day, and I can't remember the lady's name, but she's an American actress. And the interview was about how, when did you first know that you would like to act and be in front of a crowd? And she said when she was a little girl and she did something and she sang in front of a crowd, and she said, and the audience stood up and applauded. And she was like, oh, that applause. And it was so cool to see this woman just be like, that applause, and receiving that. Do you receive it when people are grateful for you? Or do you try and justify why they're grateful rather than just having them be grateful? Because what if receiving is also not about getting money or getting things? Receiving is an awareness of everything around you. It's an awareness of all energies. And in truth, like true receiving is, you hear the trees, you hear the sounds of the birds, you can perceive the earth beneath your feet, you can perceive the stars at night and the planets and this beautiful, amazing ecosystem that we live on called planet Earth. You can perceive all of that and you be a part of it. And as you be a part of that, you start to receive more. And as you receive more, the universe is gifting you more. And guess what? Money ends up showing up as well. So how many of you have made money separate from receiving? It's this like thing over here. And you've got all these definitions and judgments, like lots and lots and lots of points of view. Remember, the first thing is change your point of view, let go of your current point of view. But you've got lots of points of view over here of, oh, that means I have to get a second job, or, you know, that means that I have to work longer hours, or that means. What does having money and receiving money mean to you? And everything at that is times a godzillion, where you destroy and uncreate it. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, proverbids, creations, bases, and beyonds. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the clearing statement, which you can find out more at theclearingstatement.com, where myself and Dr. Dane here talk about it. But basically, the clearing statement is changing the energy of a point of view you have. So, for example, you know, if you grew up with parents that were always like, oh, you've got to work hard for your money, you've got to, you know, put in long hours, and you've got to do this and you've got to do that, then you grow up with that as a point of view. Now, you may work long hours. Heck, I work long hours. Nearly everyone I know works long hours, but I friggin' love what I do. And I also get to do things like, I went up horse riding this morning, which was amazing. You know, all these different things. I don't separate my work from my life. All of it is about living. All of it's about living. How many of you were taught that every single choice you choose is about you choosing to live? And as you choose to live, you receive more. You receive more. Like even from the horses today, oh my God, those creatures are just so wonderful and so amazing. And horses so desire to look after you. So as you ride, it's like I keep asking, what can I receive from this horse today? Like, what else can I receive that I wasn't willing to receive yesterday? Okay, so just play with this energy of receiving, because most of you were not taught to receive. How many of you were taught that your job was to give? Your job is just to give, and you are not supposed to receive. So everything at that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, perverts, creations, bases, and beyonds. Anna Marie, I don't know if you've got the clearing statement link, but if you could put that in there too, would be amazing. Theclearingstatement.com. So, money, the 3 magic tools that I'm talking about today, and there's a lot of them, okay? Now, my book, Getting Out of Debt Joyfully, so there's the link below, theclearingstatement.com. My book that I wrote, one of the books I wrote, Getting Out of Debt Joyfully, has a lot of really, really pragmatic tools in it, okay? It's like get to work. Use those tools, get to work, change your financial reality. It's available in many languages. It's also on Audible, etc., in my voice. And there are Joy Business facilitators all around the world who facilitate the Getting Out of Debt Joyfully classes. I have a Getting Out of Debt Joyfully class starting in January. I think it's about 3 weeks away or 3.5 weeks away. It's online only. And we will go through everything that is required for you. Like, it's your class. You get to ask questions. You receive a manual that has some, like I said, really, really good tools. You actually get to put some tools into action. Because if you want to change an area of your life, you need to take action. Okay? You need to take action. So what action are you refusing to take? That if you chose to take some action, you could change your point of view. You could pivot and change the trajectory of your life and no longer function from a life with no money. There are so many stories I have of people who have either been to a Getting Out of Debt Joy For You class or read the book and changed their entire lives. Like, changed their entire lives. There's a story I just heard the other day about a woman in London, and apparently, you know, she thought that her husband, like, they had a lot of money, like millions, and he had invested in certain things and he'd lost it and he didn't tell her. And then he eventually did tell her and basically said, hey, we've got nothing. In fact, we're heavily in debt. And she told a friend of mine that she just keeps picking up the book every now and then, Getting Out of Debt Joyfully, and picking something else to look at and read and actually use that tool and ask that question and take action. Okay. So you need to take action. Like, I always make the joke, like, if you're at a restaurant and somebody gives you a menu, you know, a waiter gives you a menu and he's going to say, hey, what would you like to order? You have to take that action to order something in order to get the food that is going to be in front of you that you eat. Well, the same thing with money, okay? You need to make a choice. You need to make a choice. Are you going to stay where you are now? Or are you going to actually choose something different? Now, the third element that I wanted to talk to you about today, that's like, literally, like, these are like the magic money tools, right? So we've got changing your point of view. We've got receiving. Now, these are more energetic tools that I'm talking about. And like I said, in the class and in the book, we do have really pragmatic tools. The third one I want to mention is about being happy. And it's like, are you happy? Because money follows joy. Joy doesn't follow money. And I cannot tell you over the years how many conversations I've had with people where they're like, oh, once I have money, I'll be, like, finish that sentence. Once I have money, I'll be, and how many of you go to, I'll be happy, I'll be this, I'll be that, etc. Money doesn't make you happy. You choose to be happy. So you choose to wake up tomorrow morning and you choose to be happy. How many of you are actually choosing happy? Do you realize that happiness is a valuable product, is a valuable choice? Your reality, especially this time of year. I mean, like I said again, come to Elugar. It's friggin' amazing. And it's so beautiful and peaceful and magical and all of that. And waking up here with the sounds of the howler monkeys and the birds and everything is like, wow. And the weather, it's just incredible here. So I chose this. I actually, a while ago, looked at it and went, oh, where do I want to be for Christmas? I thought, I want to spend time with my horse because I'm not here for a class. I'm like literally here just to be here. And then a whole bunch of people have ended up coming as well, which is really cool. There's a really cool group of people here, which is awesome. So if you want to hang out with someone, you can. If you don't have to. But this is actually this choice is making me happy. This choice, choosing this, has created more joy in my world. And what if waking up happy is the beginning of creating a new reality and a different reality for you? How many of you, like I said before, what's your relationship with money? How many of you wake up and you get stressed about money? Tell me one person who's ever stressed about money and that has created more showing up. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So everywhere that you've decided that stress will create something different for you, stress will solve your money problems. Oh yeah, guess what? Stress will make you normal. Are you normal? If you've been listening to me this whole life, you're not normal, okay? Stop trying to fit in and choose stress like everybody else. And everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, proverbs, creations, spaces, and beyonds. It's like, how many of you refuse to be happy because nobody else is doing it? What if you could choose to be happy? Like, are you choosing something that brings you money, that makes you happy? You know, when people do that thing, like, whether I'm traveling on planes or, whatever, and they're like, oh, where are you off to? Costa Rica? Are you off there? Or etc. Are you off for work or something else? And whenever you go, oh, I'm working, they go, oh. And I'm like, I love what I get to do. I love working. It's like, if you don't actually love what it is you're choosing to do, please look at that and please change it. You can either change how you do the job, maybe the hours you do the job, or change your job. This is your life. Are you living it? Are you living it to the extent that you could be? If not, please have a look at this. Take a moment with yourself. And you can talk to other people, but I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. What makes you happy? What makes you happy? Maybe write some things down and start choosing those, because as you choose what makes you happy, more money shows up. It really does. It's not linear. Money is not linear, even though you can like hold it in your hands, you can see it on your bank account when you log in or something like that, but it's not linear. Will you now allow money to show up from the magic, miracles, and chaos that you could be choosing? Yeah, I said chaos. Chaos is not bad. Please stop judging chaos. Nature is chaos. I'm looking at there because that's where nature is at the moment. Nature is chaos, right? You look at how nature is. Look at how animals, the land, the soil, the trees, the birds, the bees, all of it, how it interacts. That's not linear. It's chaos. So will you now allow your life, your living, and your financial reality to be filled with magic, miracles, and chaos? And everything it doesn't allow that to show up, where you destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100 shorts, boys, perverts, creations, bases, and beyond. So as we end this live today, I would like to introduce you to attending the Getting Out of Debt Joyfully class that I have online only. It's in, like I said, about 3 weeks. And the book is available. You can get that too. Maybe order that and read it over Christmas, New Year. Because what if the demand that you made of yourself is to stop functioning from any statement of poverty and start functioning from being in question, and not from this frantic or frustration or judgment or limitation, from a sense of, I got this, I've got this, you've got this. Even start waking up, what else is possible? Write that question down. And when you wake up in the morning, just ask, what else is possible? Okay, what else is possible? What else is possible? How does it get any better than this? What if it was time to change everything that you've decided worked for you and it didn't work for you, and now it's actually time to have more ease in your life? The mantra of Access Consciousness is all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. Maybe write that down on a Post-it note or something like that. Put it on your mirror when you brush your teeth. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. Okay? And all of life coming to you with ease, joy, and glory is the good, the bad, and the ugly. All of it. Okay? Don't judge money. Money's not judging you. Don't judge money. Don't judge your money situation. Whether you have $10, $10,000, or you're in debt, whatever it is, you can change it. Remember the first tool, changing your point of view. Changing your point of view, receiving, happy. What makes you happy? Okay? So wherever you are in the world, thank you so much for being here. And again, thank you, translators. You guys are my heroes. And I will maybe see you next year. Maybe see you in class, Getting Out of Debt Joyfully. That would be fun. Yeah, we'll make it fun. I promise. Okay, you're not wrong for what you've currently chosen, but you can change what you've currently chosen. You can. You got this. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you somewhere in the world.